Hello, thank you for stopping by. My name is Becky and this is BecxReadz, and today I'm here to share with you my March wrap-up. I decided to forego the monthly resets that I've been doing the last couple months because I just didn't feel like adding in any personal content. I'm too lazy to film it. Plus, I don't really have a lot that I have to reset this month. And the things that I do have to reset are pretty tedious things like fixing the blinds and cleaning my room, and who wants to see that, right? No one. So let me just get into sharing with you the books that I read and the videos that I did in March. I am going to talk about the two books that I finished reading this month that I did not put in a weekly reads video. The first is Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Pornack. This is a book that I bought just this month because this cover was so gorgeous. Look at this cover. And then I found the audiobook available on Scribd, so I thought I would listen to it. This is an upper YA dark fantasy about a young woman named Liska who has some very dangerous magic. In her world, people cannot have magic. So she enters into these woods that people tend to steer clear of in the search of a magical flower that will grant her wish of getting rid of her magic. But when she enters these woods, this entity known as the Leshe, who is this young man right here, he is a demon. He is the warden of the woods. He finds her and he gives her a bargain that if she stays with him for 1 year, he will give her the flower that will grant her wish. So she ends up staying with him in this enchanted mansion in the forest. And while she's there, she's discovering some secrets about him and discovering more about her magic. And in doing so, she's learning that maybe having magic isn't such a bad thing and that maybe her magic is there for a reason. This has very much Beauty and the Beast vibes, but it is based in Slavic and Polish folklore, which I really enjoyed. Y'all know by now that I love folklore. I love learning about different countries and cultures' folklore. So this being Polish folklore, I had never heard of the Leshe, so I had to, do some Google searching, and it is a real folkloric thing that this author took inspiration from, which I thought really interesting. I loved the atmosphere of this book. It is absolutely dark, and it's got this forest setting that is full of just nature elements and creepy vibes, but also like plants and animals. It also has this sentient house and this house spirit that can like go into different like bodies, I guess, and so it transforms into like a house cat and it speaks to her. It also has like some found family in it. I thought the chemistry between Leshe and Liska was really great. This has absolutely no spice in it at all, but I felt their chemistry, I felt their connection. The ending to this book is very bittersweet. Do not go into this story expecting a like happily ever after with like everything tied up in a bow, because that's not what you're gonna get. But just the way the story worked, I really enjoyed this. I loved everything about this except for the audio narration. I wish it had been dual cast. I feel like if it had been dual cast, I wouldn't have disliked a single thing. I did like the female narrator because she gave Liska a very, authentic voice. However, I wish that the Leshe would have had his own voice as well. But other than that, if you are looking for something atmospheric, forest setting, folkloric, dark cottagecore, this is definitely a book that I suggest you check out. And the last book that I read in March is a book that I had no intention of ever reading in my life, and that was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I read this for a friend, and this is a classic sci-fi about a man whose name I can't remember. Alex? Something. I don't know. It starts with an A. But he is having a bad day. His house is about to be demolished, and on the day that his house gets demolished, the earth also gets demolished. And his best friend announces that he is in fact an alien, and they end up being hitchhikers across the galaxy. So he is a human discovering that there is a life out there, and what exactly is running the earth, or the earth that once was, per se. this was a quick read. It had its humorous moments, and this edition actually has some illustrations in it that I really enjoyed. But other than that, this isn't like a standout book for me. It's very forgettable. I will forget that I have read it by the end of the year. And while some of the commentary was funny, it just wasn't anything like mind-blowingly new that I haven't already read about. So it was fine. If it sounds interesting to you, check it out. It is a classic. So look at me. I read a classic, I guess. But yeah, this was the last book I read this month. So with that, let me go through my rapid fire wrap up so you can see the ratings that I gave all of the books that I read this month. I read 15 books in total with an average star rating of 4.0, so that was really good. I didn't read any books under a 3-star rating this month. I had one 6-star read, and that was a reread, and that was Radiance by Grace Draven. I did annotate it this time. This is my favorite book of all time, so, you know, 6 stars on a reread, not surprising. I had 4 5-star reads, including The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuzner, Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Pornick, Darkest Sins by Neva Altej, and Wild Scottish Rose by Trisha O'Malley. I had 3 4-star reads, including Acolyte by Stephanie Fisher, The Frost Lord by Atlee Wykes, and Dragon Fruit by Michaela Lucier. I had one 3.5-star read, and that was The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan. And I had 6 3-star reads, including The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, Star Mother by Charlie Ann Holmberg, This Dark Descent by Kaylin Josephson, Unicorn Magic by Roz Marshall, Opium and Absinthe by Lydia Kane, and Ballad of Sea and Sky by Madeline Elliott. I did 4 weekly reads wrap-ups this month. You can check out this one if you want to hear my thoughts on Opium and Absinthe, Ballad of Sea and Sky, and Unicorn Magic. You can check out this one if you want to hear my thoughts on The Ship of Shadows, Radiance, Star Mother, and Wild Scottish Rose. You can check out this one if you want to hear my thoughts on Acolyte, The Frost Lord, The Pomegranate Gate, and Dragon Fruit. And you can check out this one if you want to hear my thoughts on This Dark Descent and Darkest Sins. I did 2 discussion videos this month. You can check out this video if you want to hear my thoughts on the ACOTAR joke that I don't find funny and illiteracy. And you can check out this video if you want to hear my thoughts on What Authors Owe Readers. I also did 3 collab videos this month. You can check out this video if you want some recommendations of fantasies with just a dash of romance. You can check out this video for some recommendations of authors to meet at Apollycon. And you can check out this video if you want to participate in the upcoming Unstuff Your Kindle Day vlog collab challenge that I have. Now for where I sourced the books that I read this month. I read a total of 6 audiobooks this month. I got 5 of these off of Everand, including Opium and Absinthe, This Dark Descent, and Where the Dark Stands Still, which all of those obviously I owned physical versions for. I also read Acolyte and Star Mother via Everand as well. And thank you so much to whoever used my referral code for Everand. Because of you, I got a month free of audiobooks. So thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. If you want to try Everand for 2 free months of audiobooks, you can use my referral down in the description. So thank you so much. I didn't have to pay for any audiobooks this month, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. And the only other audiobook I listened to was an audio arc from NetGalley, and that was Wild Scottish Rose, which I then got the hardback copy of. I read 5 ebooks this month. Dragon Fruit and Darkest Sins were arcs that I received. Dragon Fruit came from NetGalley. Darkest Sins came from the author, so I didn't pay money for those. I read The Frost Lord, which the author sent me. This is a free ebook that you can get for signing up for her newsletter, which I will have that link down below if you want to go get yourself a copy of this. I read Unicorn Magic, which is a book that I picked up on Unstuff Your Kindle Day, so I didn't pay money for that. And I read Ballad of Sea and Sky, which is the only ebook that I read this month that I paid for. And I read 4 physical books. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I did not pay for. This was sent to me by a friend. The Pomegranate Gate, which is a book that I owned previous to this year. The Ship of Shadows is another one that I owned previous to this year. And Radiance, which again, I owned previous to this year. Let's switch things up for once and end on an unhaul. So I do have a very small stack of books to haul this month. The first being Where the Dark Stands Still. As I've already shown you, I had a $50 Barnes & Noble gift card that I cashed in my Fetch Rewards points for. So I got this. So I didn't have to really pay anything for that. I also picked up The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence, using that gift card as well, so I didn't pay for this one either. This isn't sponsored, but if you want to sign up to Fetch Rewards, you just scan any receipt you get and you collect points until you get enough to cash out for any sort of gift card. I mainly use it for Amazon and Barnes & Noble gift cards, and that's how I occasionally buy books, is through them. It's free. You just sign up. If you use my referral code, you will get a free certain amount of points. I don't know what it is at this point, but I will have that link down below if you want to give it a try. I then got sent The Lost Warrior by Atlee Wykes, which is book 3 in the Inkwater series, for Easter, I believe, from my sister. So I didn't spend any money on this, and I'm excited to get to this. I've been loving this fantasy romance series, so thank you, sister, for that. And the last book is one that I actually did pay for, and it is To Cage a God. This is an Illumicrate edition. It's one that was on my radar to read this year, so when I saw this beautiful edition on Pango, somebody was being very reasonable with their pricing, so I thought I would get it. The other book that I purchased this month, I finally got off the Illumicrate wait list, so I am waiting for my March book to come, but it hasn't yet. So here's what I spent on just 2 books in March, which is more than I spent last month, but less than I spent in January. But I can tell you for sure it's going to be less than I spend in April, because I am going to Apollycon in April, and I have pre-ordered books. And my God, I'm gonna be ashamed to share with y'all just how much money I spent at Apollycon already, and I haven't even got there yet. But that's for April. But anyway, let's move on to the Unhaul version of this and get these books out of my life. Most of these books I will be selling on my Pango, so if you see any that you like and would like to get them for cheaper, check out that link down below. Up first is The Jasad Heir. This is a book that I tried to read this month. I was super excited to read it because it said it was an Egyptian-inspired fantasy. If you don't know by now, I love Egyptian mythology, Egyptian history. However, this wasn't that. This didn't give me the ancient Egyptian feels that I was looking for. I think this is more inspired by modern day Egypt. And I think I read about, I don't know, 15% of this book, and nothing much had happened. It was just a lot of words leading to nowhere. So I DNF'd this. Next up is a book that I actually really, really loved. It made me cry. I just don't see myself ever rereading it, and that is As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows. This is a great book. If you want a book that's going to tug at your heart, here you go. Highly recommend it. I will highly recommend this in any way I can. Next we have Green Wild. It had plant magic in it, and I was really interested in that. This cover is very beautiful. This just wasn't what I was wanting. I wanted this to be more adventurous, and it was more like scholarly. It does have sort of a school setting, and I really just didn't connect with the characters, so I DNF'd it. Next up is another one that I enjoyed. I didn't love it, and I just don't see myself rereading it, and that is Wingless Crow by Marina Simcoe. I love Marina Simcoe's books, you know this, but this had to be my least favorite duology within her River of Mist series, and I don't even own the physical copy of the second book, so I just don't see myself needing to keep this first book. Next is another middle grade. I was supposed to participate in middle grade March this month, and I failed spectacularly because I DNF'd so many middle grades. And that is Pony by R.J. Palacio. This is a historical. It is set in like the Old West, which you think I would enjoy. And I probably could have pushed through this, and it would have probably got like a 3-star rating, but I just wasn't. I wasn't in the mood to push through for a 3-star book, so I DNF'd it. I also DNF'd The Lighthouse Land by Adrienne McKinty. This is another book that, had I pushed through, it probably would have got a 3-star, and I just wasn't in the mood. And another middle grade that I actually really enjoyed. This is a middle grade that I took off of my shelf because I was going through it, looking to see if there were any books that maybe I could get rid of, and this is one that I decided I could get rid of. And that is The Last Gargoyle. I really liked this. It was cute. It's just not one that I think I will ever reread. I am also getting rid of Ikenga. I'm still not sure how to pronounce this. I didn't like this book at all, so I DNF'd it. Another book I will be selling on Pango is Curious Tides. This is a book that I was really interested in because I thought it had something to do with mermaids. This is like a dark academia set at like a boarding school or college. And I tried it. I tried to read it. I did. I got like 20% into this. And it was so freaking angsty with these teenagers that I was like, no, I am hating this with every fiber of my being. I'm also going to get rid of Opium and Absinthe. I just don't ever see myself rereading this. It wasn't that good. I'm also unhauling This Dark Descent. This is a book that I purchased this year from Pango because I liked the sprayed edges and I thought that horses would play a prominent role in it, and they didn't play prominent enough. So this is an Owl Crate edition. It has some cool foiling on it, but it's not one that I enjoyed enough to want to continue the series or even reread. So if you're interested, that'll be on Pango. I'm also going to sell The Pomegranate Gate. Look at this cover. It is so pretty. I would recommend this, and if I ever do like a recommendation video where this would fit into the theme of that recommendation video, I would definitely recommend it because it is a very unique story. It's just, I was loving it for a while, and then I got really bored, and it only got 3.5 stars, so I just don't see myself rereading this. I don't see myself continuing on with the series, and if I ever did, I will just, I don't know, get the audiobook or something, but yeah, I will not be keeping this. So that is a wrap-up of my March. The books I read, the books I hauled, books I unhauled. Let me know down in the comments what was your favorite book of March, but if you don't want to comment that but would like to let me know that you made it to the end of this video, could you leave me a tree emoji for Where the Dark Stands Still and its forest setting? So with that, thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, good luck on your April reading. Bye!